Hello traders, this is Blake Morrow and you are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. If you caught me earlier on the face webinar, you may have heard that I was a little tired. I had a stomach bug last night, kept me up all night, so I didn't sleep very well. So when I was on the face webinar, I was kind of out of sorts as I hadn't had a chance to look at all the charts and really get my head around everything that was going on. But what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the stock market recover a little bit after being down initially, and that has if you take a look at the S&P here, the S&P is basically coming back towards the break even or opening price, if you will. We're down just a little bit now. We're basically break even on the day. But with the S&P rally, we're also rallying right into previous support, 618 retracement, which may stall this advance. But what it's done, it's taken some of this downside pressure that we've seen on like the Canadian dollar. We've seen a really big reversal in the Canadian dollar today. Some of that downside pressure has come off, but I'm gonna tell you guys from like the dollar Canadian, I was expecting us to, after this false breakout here from last week and this false breakout right here, I was expecting us to have a little bit more downside. I was expecting us to come down towards this this support here, because if you see this double, right, this is a double top. I thought the dollar Canadian was going to come down and test this support, but the reversal has probably caught a lot of shorts off guard. Now, what do you do with it here? Frankly, I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm looking at the dollar Canadian thinking, I don't know if I really want to be involved in that. But what I am looking at is the dollar Mexican peso, which I did pull off my short, and I got out of it. But the thing about the dollar Mexican peso is this could set up for a really big false breakdown, which would mean that we are going to break higher. And this is something that I think we have to watch, especially if the dollar Mexican peso clears the $24 level. Okay, I think this is going to be a really big resistance. And what this is going to tell us too, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me put that fib back there. I wanted to grab that. If we break back above 24, what that's going to suggest to me is the market is about ready to go into quote unquote risk off mode, which I'm not a buyer. I'm not a believer of that yet. But if you guys are trading the S&P, if you guys are trading the Dow or the Russell or risk in general, a break above 24 would suggest that those markets are probably the equity markets are heading lower. So I think this would be my cue if I was trading the S&P. Dollar Mexican peso breaks back above 24, it's actually time to be short equities. Okay. Flip side is, if you guys are still bullish equities and you think the S&P is going to the 200-day moving average, being short the dollar MEX right here is the place to do it, because this is the old trend line. We're back testing the underside of that trend line. It's also the 38% retracement. Let me get rid of this fib here. It's also the 38% retracement of this move. So we should reverse here if we're going to. I mean, if we're going to, we should reverse here. But like I said, this thing gets above 24, you're not going to want to be on the short side anymore, in my opinion. The dollar yen. That's something else that we have to pay pretty close attention to. The dollar yen has screamed higher out of this wedge, and I think it's catching a lot of shorts off guard. Okay, and I don't know how to trade the dollar yen, and I know I've expressed that idea to you guys over the course of the last couple of weeks. I'm not really too sure how to trade it. I'm not sure that if stocks go down, you buy yen, or if stocks go up, you sell yen. Not like the old correlations that we've known for the last 20 years. I've been in the camp that since the last few months, the correlations have broken in the yen. So I'm not sure how to proceed with it as of right now. But I will tell you that I think it's squeezing, and it's squeezing the hell out of anybody who is short, and for good reason too. I mean, we were below this 107 level, and while it was below 107, it was trading really heavy. But now that we're above 107, you got to start looking at things like this. That any dip now might be a buying opportunity in the dollar yen. Okay, and that's something I'll pay attention to going into Asia tonight. What else I want to talk about? Oh, one last thing I'm going to leave you with. Keep an eye on volatility. Volatility, as you can see, the VIX below 30 here, or 31 or whatever it is, it technically it respected that resistance perfectly. Okay, so while we're below 31, that should keep stocks supported. It should keep the dollar at bay from strengthening too much. But what I would be doing is I would be thinking, okay, if the VIX gets back above 31, 32, and the dollar Mexican peso gets above 24, that would be my cue that stocks are going to roll over. Okay, that's just another method of confirmation that I would be looking for. Okay, all right, guys. If you are listening to this as a recording, that means you're probably not a ForexAnalytix subscriber, so make sure you do so. Try it out for $1 for 10 days. Download the mobile apps as well. If you guys are listening right now and we're live, that means you guys are already ForexAnalytix subscribers. So thanks for supporting us. My name is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix, and you've been listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. Have a great trading session. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Face webinar, and I will be more awake because my stomach does feel better now. So have a great one. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.